Welcome once again to An Act of Kindness. We have compiled several stories honoring extraordinary acts of kindness, love, and compassion by ordinary people. These stories remind us of just how universal and essential the spirit of kindness is in our country and indeed all around the world.
A small act of kindness can make a big difference. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion like Gillian Williams from Remilda Rose Designs. Her simple act brought joy in the hearts of cancer patients.
My whole aim was to do what I could for cancer survivors, cancer patients. So Remilda Rose Designs had a fashion show where we honored 6 persons, 4 men, 4 women and 2 men. And we gave them makeovers, made evening dresses, bought shoes, did jewelry. We gave them gifts. For the men, we did suits, gave them gifts as well. And that's what I did. I gave back in that way. And I did that in honor of my father, who passed away from cancer. And I just knew there was something that I could do as a fashion designer, and to use my gift. And that's all I know is to sew. So that's what I did.
Let's talk about the impact of that whole initiative that you would have done. How has that changed you?
Well, I think that, well, not I think, I know that I was always a giving person. That has just heightened it. It has made me an even more compassionate person. It has just, I don't know, it's like God has been so good to you. How can I honor him? And I think what I do, I'm honoring God. He admonishes us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And I think we sometimes take that for granted. I always say, I tell people I'm a believer. I believe what the word says. I believe it. And I believe this is the way that God would want me to live. And I'm doing exactly what he wants me to do. So this has truly been a blessing. And we had a presentation get together for them, so they got the remainder of their gifts, and it's just truly a pleasure. It's so good seeing that they have fought, and they have fought a hard fight, because when I look at my father, and I also had an aunt that had cancer, and when I look back at what they went through, the fight was not easy. It was really not easy. It was a difficult fight, and some people give up. These 6 that I honored chose not to give up. They chose to fight and to hold on to God's word that they shall live, and they're living. And I'm happy that I was able to be a part of their living experience. When Pastor Miles died, and I went back, you'd swear I went to BFM and I didn't, because I listened to all his CDs. And his whole thing was to die empty. And I was like, okay, God, what can I do for that to happen? I'm already teaching sewing. What else can I do that I am leaving nothing behind? I am going in that grave empty. And after my father got sick and going with him to treatment and seeing how those people were just dreary and like struggling and that chemo racking their body, and God put the idea in me that, use your talent. This is what I've given you, use your talent. So that's how the sewing came about. No, I thank God for Alive. We did get Alive as a sponsor, but lots of money was spent because I didn't do things halfway for them. I gave them the best of whatever there was. I gave them the best. I wanted the show to be the best because I wanted them to enjoy. When we had our show last year, we honored 5 women. 2 of those women have since passed on. Actually, they died 2 months after the show. So I was happy I was able to impact their lives like that. But when we did that show, we had 25 people in the audience. I knew that the ticket sales were not good, but I also knew that those women were looking forward to the show, and I could not go through with the show. So we went through with that show with 25 people in the audience. Money spent. I had no sponsor. Money spent, but we did it. And I was happy that I was able to impact their lives. I was happy to know when I went to one of their funerals that I looked in the coffin and she had on the dress that I made for her. That, no one can take that feeling away from me. I have no regrets for the last year's show. I was happy I did it. I was happy I lived it to my word. And you know what? At the end of the day, I had made an obligation to the Cancer Society, and I had not made the money. But I worked for 2 months, and I gave Cancer Society what my obligation was to them. So this is not about the money for me. This is about what I can do to help others. There's never been anything that I wanted to do or Remilda Rose that was impossible, because God has just made everything, the song I woke up with this morning, that was, God, you've been good, so good to me. I can't praise you enough because you've been so good to me. Even with the things that I may have done wrong, I have no regrets because God made those crooked paths straight. He just worked it all out for my good. So there's nothing that I can say that I've wanted to do that I've not. No, I want to go back to school and God made the way. It's like I wanted good for my children and God made the way. So there is nothing. I can't say there's anything that.
How promising is 2018 for you?
Oh, 2018 looks promising. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. We're ready to start looking for our next set of honorees, and I'm excited about 2018. I'm excited to see what God is going to do. I'm excited to see the honorees He's going to bring. I'm excited to see the way He's going to take the show. I'm excited about the sponsors that I know He's going to put on board with us. I'm just excited about it.
That's one way of giving. What advice would you give to persons out there to show what we are calling an act of kindness?
Do what you can do. Even if it's, we had a dog around the yard for about a week. I've seen this little dog. And I was like, I'm not feeding that dog because I don't want that dog around here. I have a dog already. But one morning I woke up and I fed the dog because I'm like, it's a dog. He can't even talk. He can't even fend for himself. So I fed the dog. Then I tied him up. I put some tick stuff on him because he had a lot of ticks and fleas. And then I gave him a bath. I called the Humane Society. Somebody came and got him and took him there. That little act, I mean, he can't talk, but his response to me was like, thank you for giving me this food. Thank you for giving me the water. I mean, I bathed him and I was like, this is the first time, and I've had dogs before, that this dog, I mean, he wanted to take a bath. He didn't even shake on me, And that's a simple act of kindness. You see the boys in the food store. They're working hard. They're working hard. If you listen to some of their stories, they try to take care of home and helping mommy. And, yeah, all of them ain't alike, but give them a chance, Sometimes I gave a guy $5 and he was like, wow, But I just felt led to do it. And it's not about the money. It's about what you can do to help others, and don't look for getting anything in return. I don't look for nothing in return. My reward is from God. It's not from man. So just do whatever you could do for anybody. I mean, invite somebody home to your house for Christmas. You're eating turkey. I mean, how much turkey and ham can you eat? Invite somebody else to help you eat that turkey and ham. Help a family out. Do something. Anything.
And what is your motto for 2018?
Remains the same. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. All things.